an amateur flyweight bout scheduled for three-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyusted. Introducing the first fighter to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. He holds an undefeated amateur record with a 1 win and 0 losses and weighed in at 123 pounds. Fighting out of Extreme Couture. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome to the cage, Antonio "God Chosen" Garcia!
Really quick, before we get this fight taken off, we have Cody Hammond and Julian Ruiz who are going to be on the main card. They are not going to be fighting tonight. Cody Hammond, unfortunately, came under with some illness, a little bit under the weather coming into today, so that fight will not be going on during the main card tonight. Moving on, though, we do have Antonio Garcia making the walk tonight. One of the 2 undefeated flyweights kicking off this card, enter Antonio Garcia, a wrestling-heavy flyweight with an impressive submission win already under his belt and eyes on continuing his winning ways tonight against his toughest test yet in Dietrich Jessup. Jason, Antonio put on quite the wrestling showcase back in September of last year. 4 takedowns in 7 minutes and demonstrated dominance in the grappling exchanges. But as we saw with his opponent, Dietrich, both of these guys are great on the ground.
Blake, I'm super excited about this fight. If you listen to our pre-fight broadcast, this could potentially be a fight of the night. Both guys, a lot of high energy, high output, even for 1-0 amateurs. I'm really excited about this fight, and I'm really excited somebody's always got to go, right? So
100%. He is going up against Dietrich Jessup, a very difficult matchup. Both of these fighters fantastic. Both fighters undefeated. Both showcased a lot in their debuts, and we saw both of them. There he is entering Antonio Garcia, and there's a lot to look forward to as he makes his way into the cage here tonight. And Joel, 4 takedowns in 7 minutes and 22 seconds, leading to his rear naked choke. I mean, the guy's a great wrestler. We're going to move right over to Dietrich Jessup right now. Jackson Hoops is going to bring him out.
All right, and introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He holds an undefeated amateur record as well with 1 win and 0 losses. And weighing in at 119 pounds. Fighting out of the Vigilante Academy. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome to the cage, Dietrich, the master of disaster, Jessup!
Well, following a fast finish and an emphatic win, a second walk to the fierce cage for Dietrich Jessup has been anticipated. The flyweight out of the Vigilante Academy splashed onto the scene with a debut win in under 2 minutes back in October. Jason, you were cage side and saw that high elbow guillotine better than anyone else. How impressive was it?
Phenomenal. Impressive display. The Vigilante Academy, the fighters that they've been bringing into this cage have all been amazing. They've all been very well prepared. Got to give a shout out to Teague Vigil, who's fought in our cage a few times. They come ready. This is going to be a barn burner, man.
Now, Joel, as a striker yourself, I got an interesting stat for you. Dietrich, in his last fight, his debut, he threw 15 strikes in the first 9 seconds of that fight against Brendan Myers. I mean, this kid has cardio for days, and he can strike with the best of them.
Man, that is very impressive. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring in the first 9 seconds of this fight. You know what I mean? We got 2 competitors about to face off, and we're going to have some fireworks in this fight, guaranteed in the first round for sure.
I think one of the interesting things here, Jason, is that Dietrich and the guys at Vigilante Academy really weaponize their cardio. They work their cardio a lot to make sure that they have gas tanks going into the second round, going into the third round. And that's something that we should look forward to Dietrich, but we don't actually know that yet because we haven't seen him outside of the first round.
Well, if he takes after his coach, I think we'll see a good performance.
There he is, the 18-year-old out of Vigilante Academy for his second fight as an amateur. Ready to get our first bout underway. This fight is presented by Boomer Ariano Realty. Dietrich Jessup versus Antonio Garcia, both undefeated. Antonio Garcia standing 3 inches shorter at 5'5". Dietrich standing at 5'8". This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. first of 4 amateur bouts here tonight.
Trading off kicks for kicks right away.
No feeling out process whatsoever. Antonio Garcia going straight in for the double leg early. Dietrich searching to sprawl. With the front headlock is Dietrich, but Antonio Garcia applying pressure up against the cage. Dietrich taken down twice in his first fight against Brendan Myers. And what is Antonio doing well here, Joel?
He's got his really good head position here to keep his control here. Dietrich's doing a great job of keeping that knee shield in, that China wall up against him, up against the fence. Trying to create some space here, it looked like. But he's doing really well defending up against the cage there.
And Dietrich doing a great job of applying some knees as well to the body. Looks like we got a little bit of a low blow there. Back to it with just a warning. Heavy shot landed by Antonio Garcia. Dietrich able to sprawl.
I'm impressed with Dietrich's takedown ability in this fight.
Nice knees to the body by Dietrich. Doing a great job of making sure he does not end up on the ground against a tough as nails Antonio Garcia. Antonio Garcia making his way over to Extreme Couture since the last time we saw him.
Oh, looks like that guillotine's almost there. He's got one arm across the neck there.
Nice knee to the body by Dietrich.
Fantastic utilization of that for the 18-year-old out of Vigilante Academy. Separated once again are the two fighters.
Nice knees, trading knees to the body.
And now Dietrich applying a little bit more pressure, looking for a knee tap there. Able to get the takedown is Dietrich.
I'd like to see Dietrich get that crossface to try to create some space from Antonio's head on his hip, but now we'll see what he's going to do from the guard.
Jessup on the bottom, Antonio Garcia on top. A great reversal there. Jessup searching to set up the triangle here. Pulling on the head, but to no avail.
Garcia's relentless with that takedown. Jessup doing a great job defending.
Final 20 seconds here of round number 1.
Yeah, Jessup looks pretty comfortable there with his defensive wrestling there. I know he's got some great jiu-jitsu as well. I'd like to see him start getting that left knee in to create some space. There we go. Recover his guard, and that's it for round number 1.
Well, a handful of takedowns between the two fighters so far. I mean, Jason, for you, a very evenly matched matchup. And like we talked about as they were walking out, these are two fantastic grapplers, and we're seeing them do it right here, right now.
Great display of grappling, great takedown defense from Jessup. Tony, nonstop energy, kept pushing forward. And we say this on every broadcast, but I would really hate to be a judge because I don't know how you judge this first round. They both did some damage to each other. They both landed shots. Maybe a slight.
Doing a great job of making sure he does not end up on the ground against a tough as nails Antonio Garcia. Antonio Garcia making his way over to Extreme Couture since the last time we saw him.
Oh, looks like that guillotine's almost there. He's got one arm across the neck there.
Nice knee.
And that's the exact finish that he had against Brendan Myers. He was up against, doing a great job of making sure he does not end up on the ground against a tough as nails Antonio Garcia. Antonio Garcia making his way over in a fight was 1 minute and 58 seconds. He has already surpassed that here. Antonio Garcia going into the 3rd round of his first fight a couple of months ago. Round number 2, here we are. Big overhand right, followed by a left hook as well by Antonio Garcia, straight into the takedown.
I'd like to see Jessup get an underhook on that left side. He's got that overhook. I'd like to see that go under.
Beautiful
Nice
takedown landed, but Dietrich going straight into a submission attempt here. Antonio Garcia continuing to work from the top. A fantastic showcase of grappling here in round number 2. Into the mount is Antonio Garcia. Dietrich in a world of trouble here. Garcia is able to posture up.
like to see Jessup start making his way towards the fence. Now, especially when there's no damage being caused right now, start utilizing the fence to start getting up instead of giving up his back. Looks like he might have a choke attempt here.
Unable to see the angle of it, but Antonio Garcia searching for that rear naked
Looking for
choke.
that short choke.
Looks like he might have it in.
The same exact choke that he was able to get against Guillermo Rodriguez back in September here in the Maverik Center during his debut. Dietrich
Nice,
fighting as
Jessup.
much as he
There
can.
we go.
Wow. Very
Back
impressive.
to the mount he goes, and Dietrich going to work.
Now he's
Looking
going for
an
an
arm
armbar.
bar. I'd like to see him switch that to a triangle. I think that's what he's trying to do there.
And Jason, as we saw with Dietrich, he was in a couple of very difficult submissions in his first fight and was able to escape him. Dietrich Jessup has quite the heart.
He's a gamer. There's no quitting that kid.
Awesome escape
And you
there from Garcia.
Back to the top is Antonio Garcia, continuing to search for that rear naked choke grip, but nearly to the mount is Garcia. Trapped is the left arm of Jessup.
Now Jessup back on top.
Guys, this is an amazing fight going back and forth on the ground.
So far, my prediction is coming true. Great fight so far. Way to kick off the night. Great
Absolutely.
high-paced, high energy.
Absolutely.
Attempting to flatten out Rodriguez is Jessup. On the back now, in
And
back
now Jessup
Oh,
is
looks like
he's
he's
under
getting
the
that rear
neck.
naked choke
He's
in.
under the chin.
Like
under the
that
neck
could be
he
tight.
goes.
Looks like it's underneath the
That's
chin
tight.
there.
10
Final
seconds.
10
Oh, and he fought it
seconds.
off. He got it off. Wow. Impressive.
Impressive, yeah. Impressive heart from Tony
And now
Garcia.
Jessup on top landing shots. Oh, wow.
Two big moments for each fighter going into round number 3. It's as close as nails. Joel, what do you think is going through Dietrich's head, thinking that he almost had the submission, but now he has to go into a third round?
Going into round 3, man, you're going to have to sell out and look for that finish. If I were a judge, I'd probably score it 1-1 right now. If I was Dietrich or Tony going into this last round, you got to sell out and go for the finish. You got to finish strong and give it everything you got.
You know what? I keep saying this, and I keep repeating myself, but I think 1-1. I felt like Garcia in the second round pushed the pace a little bit in the beginning, and then the second half you saw Jessup kind of counter that. He got some takedowns. He got the back. He finished in the dominant position at the end of the round. So it could easily be 1-1. It could be 2-0. Who knows? I don't think we're going to see a change in any one of these guys' game plan coming into this third round, though.
I feel like they're also going to keep up that pace as well.
No quit in either of these flyweights to kick off our card. Both fighters undefeated at 1-0, headed into the third and final round.
Jessup controlling the cage right off the bat.
To the shot he goes is Antonio. Dietrich
Looks like
searching for
Dietrich-
that guillotine
Dietrich's
got
once
that
again.
guillotine.
He has those long
Like to see him
arms, too.
keep
That's
that
just-
when he-
Fighting it is Antonio Garcia. Dietrich's got it tight.
There it is. I think he's got it.
that's tight.
That's a tight choke there, ladies and gentlemen.
We've been here before, and Dietrich has done it before.
Oh, he tapped.
There's a tap.
There's the tap.
That will do it. Dietrich Jessup. Welcome to the
with the
Maverik
back.
Center, and welcome to the big show.
Impressive guillotine win by Dietrich Jessop. Very impressive how he kept a hold of that head. Whenever you got the head in the MMA fight, you got to keep a hold of that head. That's exactly what he did when Garcia was trying to get out.
Jessup going straight over to Antonio Garcia, making sure he's all right. What a moment for the flyweight out of Vigilante Academy. He moves to 2-0. Problem for amateur flyweights all over the state of.
Very impressive.
And hats off to Antonio Garcia. What a performance by him, continuing to try to get those takedowns. And he had a lot of big moments here tonight, a lot of promise for Antonio Garcia out of Extreme Couture. Joel, going into that third round, we talked about it. It must have been tough for Dietrich knowing that he almost had that rear naked choke, but then he was unable to get it at the end of the second round. He comes straight in the third round, wraps up that guillotine, and is able to get the same exact choke that he got against Brendan Myers.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selya said called a stop to this contest at 32 seconds of the third round, declaring the winner by guillotine out of the red corner, Dietrich, the master of disaster, Jessup.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Dietrik Jessop. Dietrich, you're 2-0 in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage. You're only 18 years old. How you feeling tonight, man?
I'm feeling great. He's a hard hitter. Respect to him.
That was a great fight. It was a great back and forth fight. Did you feel like you were down on the scorecards coming in that third round? Did you feel like you needed to finish? What was your thought going into that third round?
My only thought was to finish the fight. I wasn't thinking about the scorecards.
I love it. I love it. So 2-0 now. What's next for you?
Hopefully get a fight as soon as possible. So, yeah.
I think we can make that happen for you. Is there any sponsors anybody want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank my team, all my friends, my family. I want to thank my girlfriend, Leah, my best supporter, wherever she is. I love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Mr. Dietrik Jessop.